Welcome to Seven Figure Frequency. This is another audio that is really going to help you break one of the biggest frontiers when it comes to stepping out of the illusion, unplugging from the matrix, and all of that juiciness. So, let's talk today about money and how it has nothing to do with earning or work, and how joy is really the biggest wealth driven frequency. So, you were trained to believe that you had to earn money, that it didn't just show up, right? This was coded into us from school, from religion, from capitalism, from parents who meant well but could hardly breathe and have space with their own money, right? It was everywhere. If you don't work, you don't eat. Nothing comes easy. Anything that does come easy isn't trustworthy. You have to work twice as hard to get half as far. Like, those are some of the sayings that have been really beaten into us. And those of us with ancestral lines that have been touched by slavery or serfdom or peasantry, poverty, displacement, erasure, it isn't just emotional, it's survival. And so when I talk about seven figure frequency, it truly has nothing to do with money that you're going to work for. And I'm not saying don't work. I'm not saying like don't love what you do. Nope, nope, nope. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you got to stop believing that your effort is what makes you worthy of wealth, because that is the illusion. And money is the first frontier of liberation. You see, when you break free from the earning paradigm and you stop playing it, you stop waiting for launch cycles and strategy tweaks and 90-day plans. This is when you see someone who was at $10,000 months jump up to $100,000 months. And then when they're there and they're feeling good, all of a sudden it's $1 million months. And you're like, what happened? How did they get there? It wasn't because they worked more. They became more. They remembered that they weren't paid for effort. They were paid for their embodiment. They weren't here to earn. They were here to calibrate. Wealth does not come, it's already here, and it reveals itself the moment you collapse the code that you had to suffer for at first. I remember I used to believe that you had to work hard for your money. I was told that I had to work 3 times harder than everyone else to get where I needed to go. And so ever since I was a child, I would be the best, the quietest, the smartest, the fastest, because I needed to be better than everyone else around me in order what I thought to get whatever they had. Like anything that they would get really easily, I had to work super hard to get that. And so you come into this industry, and so I'm working extra, answering things immediately, giving extra offers, extra bonuses, over delivering, exhausting myself. And I was hitting a wall, right? I knew I wanted to grow, but I also didn't want to have to work even more. And so that belief that I needed to work hard to make more money had me thinking I needed to work harder even in my business to make more than what I was making, which means that I was like, subconsciously, I didn't want to do it. Like, I was like, I'm good. I'm good where I am, because I didn't want to work harder. More money meant more exhaustion. So unconsciously, I stopped receiving. I blocked the flow. Deep down, I thought if money comes in, it means that I'll have to give more and I'll have to do even more. And I'm already tired. And it wasn't until I remembered something that my boss told me back in corporate, something that stuck with me like a prophecy. It was like, Christine, you need to stop, like back up, pull back. Cause he was like, just do 70%. Cause he was like, your 70% is everyone else's 150%. He saw something in me that I didn't even see in myself. And the truth was, he was right. It was never about how hard I worked. It was about who I was. And I decided to stop waiting for permission for money to come in because it's always here, it's always around me. I stopped asking if I had done enough to deserve it. I stopped and I stepped out of the earning paradigm. I decided money was always here. I am money. Money is me. I don't earn it. I receive it because I do. And money was never tied to effort. It was always tied to my essence. This belief that money must be earned was installed in you on purpose. It was coded into your body and passed down through generations. It wasn't just about your family, it was about global conditioning, planetary conditioning. In the Middle Ages, peasants were the ones told to work the land, serve the king, serve the nobility, never accept handouts. Nothing good comes easy. Work hard because maybe one day. It was all designed to keep the vibration of the planet out of joy and into pain. To keep you grinding, to keep you receiving. This is why I created the financial frequency jailbreak, because these codes don't just live in your thoughts. There's not money mindset. That's not going to help you. They live in your cells. They live in your DNA. They're coded, and you've got to decode them. But here's what I see. I see you creating from pressure, selling from fear, launching because you think you should. You say you trust, but deep down you're bracing because what if no one buys? You believe that money only shows up if you perform. It's exhausting. So let me ask you something. What if you stopped trying to earn money altogether? What if you completely disassociated your work from earning, like working from what you, and to get something, right? What if you disassociated the two? What if money had nothing to do with the hours you put in or the work you do or how many reels you posted? And your only job was to do what you love, do what you would do for free anyway. Do it because you're of service, because you know that this is helping someone, because that is seven-figure frequency. When you're doing what you love and just knowing money comes because it supports you, and it's not associated with how much effort you did or how much time you showed up or how many times you sold, and that every time you're doing something or selling or doing that, you're doing that as a service, as an opportunity, giving people the opportunity to get what they desire, doing it because you love it, because it's your talent, it's your gift, it's what you would do for free anyway, then you're disconnected from the earning paradigm. You're not trying to earn money, sell this, or if I promote it, then I'll get. No, you're just like, money comes and it's gonna come. It's, of course. The people that make the most money in the world are the ones who are obsessed with what they do. And I'm not talking about oligarchs. I'm talking about like the athletes who love the game and they get paid for because they love the game. They practice and they do all the things to get ready for the game because they love the game. You've got artists, they live for the stage. You've got T Swift, you've got B, you've got Beyonce. They're in love with their artistry. They don't perform for permission. They perform because they love entertaining their audience. They show up because it's who they are, and the money meets them at that resonance. Money and work never had to be connected. And when you disconnect them, you are free. You receive money because you do. It matches your frequency. It responds to your certainty, not your effort. Again, this is why you see a coach, they hit a $30,000 month and then they realize, oh my God, I didn't have to work harder for it. Oh my goodness. And then all of a sudden they're at 100,000 and then all of a sudden they're at 1 million. Why? Because they realized it was never about what they did. It was about who they were. So what are you doing still to earn money? Like, take out your journal, reflect on that. Where am I just saying, I'm going to do this so that people can buy? I'm going to go out there and do this so that people can buy. That's why your content creation is exhausting. That's why everything you're doing, you're like, oh, I don't want to do it. It's because you've tied an anchor to it. If this doesn't work, I'm not getting paid. When if you just said, I'm going to do this from the love of my heart, I'm doing this because I would be doing this for free. I'm going to talk about this because I would be talking about this with just the person on the street that isn't paying me because I love what I do. Where are you making money? The reward, instead of just a reflection of who you are, reflection of your resonance. What would you do even if no one paid you because you love it that much? That's the work. That's the portal. This is the beginning of a jailbreak. We break AI so that we can do whatever we want and it can be free. We jailbreak our phones so we can have access to all the things without needing it to be in a program. This is where you get to jailbreak your own frequency and feel free and feel like things are play, and you get to post and share and speak and write and move and let joy be your strategy. Let certainty be your activation. What if you realized, I do not earn, I embody, I do not chase, I calibrate. Money is here now because it is me, and I receive because I do. This is the new wealth paradigm. This is seven-figure frequency.